Now, Daly, talk about timing. You've just beaten your old team. Your old coach has just been sacked, and your old half partner's the new Manly coach. Anything else we need to know about?
Mate, what a crazy month. Agreed to come on this show, a month ago. And
yes.
to just think we're sitting here now and the result, the aftermath, a great mate of mine is now the Manly coach.
Amazing.
35 years old. It's amazing. I'm really happy for him.
And we're going to talk about Kieran shortly, but yourself, are you just relieved that game is over?
Yeah, I am. I didn't have it as circled on the calendar as everyone may have thought. I was looking forward to the whole experience of going back, playing against some good friends and a place that I've been at for so long. But the week, the build-up, I definitely didn't anticipate that. And then I don't reckon I anticipated the feelings that were evoked when I walked in there. So it was a really, really bizarre experience. But in the end, just glad to walk away with the win, and everyone walks away healthy and happy.
Let's talk about that game. 33-16, Roosters over Manly. Ches, Ches, and anyone, they got off to a lightning start here, Manly. Ches, how were you in the sheds before the game? What, were you apprehensive?
I'd say I was nervous. I get nervous before every game, so the nerves weren't too new. It was just probably the level of nerves I was getting sitting in the sheds and being in the away sheds. It was all just a very different experience, right? But I tell you what, I could really feel the support of my teammates. That's one thing that kept me really steady that whole night, and even in the sheds, was the teammates' support. So, I reckon an hour before kickoff, that storm that hit was genuinely sort of everyone sitting there thinking this might not go ahead.
We're hoping.
Now, Daly, one of the things I talked about leading into the game, are they going to boo in the game, all the fans? They did boo. I must say, though, I didn't think it was mean-spirited. Like, it wasn't malicious. Did you cop much, like, when you had the break in play, you can hear everyone, like, yelling out. Did you cop much heckling out there?
Not too much, no. I've copped well worse at some of the other stadiums across the NRL.
Name names. Who's the worst? Who's the worst?
Newcastle.
Yep. Here we go. Shocking. Proud of that.
Cronulla. Bulldogs. There's a few fans that don't miss you, but the people on the hill, they had a bit of fun with it. There was a pretty red hot sign on the hill. Geez, that was.
Oh yes.
Don't worry, we're going to get to that in a second.
Yes. There it is. There it is. Yes. DC loves cocks.
Who doesn't love a cook? Cooks are good.
Cooks are fantastic, but too many spoil the broth.
Des, I want to ask you about your game. Have you had to adapt to the Roosters, the style they play, or has Robbo said you can just play your own game?
I think there's definitely been a conversation, but it's been a bit of both, to be fair. So there's definitely a Rooster style of footy that Trent's implemented over a long time there, and it's had success. So there's a lot of belief within that. But yeah, it's really important that I go there as well and play my style of footy as well. So we're still working towards that. Not even just on a personal level. That's obviously going to take time. How I adapt and how I evolve within the new side. But as a side, we're still coming to terms with what our best footy looks like. We've shown in glimpses that there's some great signs there, but it hasn't been done for long enough just yet.
Jez, why the Chooks? That's a question you've been at Manly for so long. Was there other clubs that were interested? And, what was it that attracted you to the Roosters?
Yeah, I guess there was a little bit of interest elsewhere, but I think I didn't want to waste anyone's time when it came to those conversations. And the reason why the Roosters appealed so much was because it's still...
Cash. Was it cash? No. Sorry. Was it no? Sorry.
Let him speak.
Sorry, I just thought that might have been the reason.
No,
it's all good.
It's not. I'm never going to complain about how much money I've been paid, but it's not. It wasn't that. That wasn't the deciding factor. Love the coach, love the playing group, and family lifestyle-wise, girls are still at the same school, so life at home hasn't changed too much.
You can ride e-bikes whenever you want.
Yeah, the e-bikes. No e-bikes.
Did you know Robbo before?
No, not really.
Not really, no.
Not at all. So just enjoy watching me footy, enjoy listening to coaches' press conferences and stuff like that, so you get a bit of an idea of what...
You listen to coaches' press conferences?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do ya? You're a sicko.
Real sicko.
Ches, can I ask you a question? The number on your back, does it make a difference? Because watch out, an outsider looking in, you've run the game for how many years? A lot of games. You've run Australian sides, you've run Queensland sides. For me, watching that game, I think you should be in. When I say I think, the 7. Why not the 7?
Yeah, I think there's been a fair bit made about that, which is understandable because it was just something that people became so accustomed to, was seeing me in the 7. But as I sort of touched on before about me going to the Roosters, and I've got to fit into that team as well. So there's things that I can certainly bring to the side. We're still figuring out how to best do that, I believe. But I think there's also a lot of good players around me that I probably don't have to do what I've done in previous years. There's certainly a role that I have to play and the experience that I have to bring. There's no doubt about that.
But that must be difficult, though, not to probably take the reins of that side. You know what I mean? You've taken the reins so many years.
Well, well, it's funny, Hindy, you say that, because Daly, I was watching week 1 of the Warriors, and I could see you and Sam just trying to work combination. I imagine you coming in a little bit, and you're trying to be, how could I say, you're probably trying to be polite. You know what I mean? You're in a new side and all the rest of it. What I've liked of late is the fact that you have actually taken control. And I'm a big advocate, if you can't take someone who has been the dominant ball player for their whole career, then say, righto, now you're going to be second banana. Now you're going to be the deputy, particularly when you knock on the ball, down long, doing the long kicking game, which you're doing. You have to push them in shape for that. Is that a conversation you and Sam have had, or has it just sort of happened naturally?
Mate, each week, Matty, we're talking about our footy, and what we've sort of spoken about is in those 4 weeks we've played, we've had 4 up and down weeks, right? It hasn't been a fully consistent 4 weeks. So we're really fortunate in the fact we've got a bye now. So I think it's a great time for us to take stock and have a look at what's been working well and what's not. Sam Walker's going to be a big part of this club for a long time. There's no doubt about it. He's a fantastic kid. The way he's learning the game, the way he sees the game, I think is really special.
Yep.
But yeah, we're just 2 players in a team as well, right? We've still got a fullback named James Tedesco. There's a hooker, Reece Robson, and a forward pack, outside backs.
Daly, look, you're talking to a 5'8". We know 7'6" is the only one that matter. The rest of them are just doing their best. Hey, boys, and I'll keep Daly completely out of this, is the Anthony Seibold sacking that happened after the game. Were you surprised? I must say, my gut feel after the Newcastle loss for Manly, I thought he was one bad loss away.
Yeah, it was strange. I mean, it's very early. I was just thinking, he's been there all off-season, all pre-season, and you're giving him three games. I know they came out and said they take pride in winning at home. I just thought that it was very, very early. I was surprised.
Yeah, right.
I was surprised. We heard that.
How long would you have given him that? Like this, I don't mind the fact they've done it this early.
Right.
Like, I feel for Seibs, obviously, because this is his livelihood. He wants to be a coach. He's been a great coach, but I like the fact that they've done it now. Bang. There's still time in the season to try and improve. Whether or not we sit and wait, and then there's speculation for weeks to come.
Spot on.
Another loss, you go.
It
well,
never works when they go, mate. Look, you've got till round 9.
Yeah, it just doesn't work because everyone's after you then. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Now, Kieran's come in. I couldn't think of a more ideal interim coach what Manly need. There is no one in the game that's got more respect than Kieran Foran, particularly that Manly club. I must say, as I said, timing is everything. Just over a week ago, we had him on the Backstage podcast, and we put it to Kieran about coaching.
You have the ambition to be an NRL coach?
It's something that I'm definitely interested in, Matty.
Yep.
But I'm in no rush to become an NRL head coach.
Looks like high pressure.
Do you reckon? No.
Yeah. Interesting. The next one to talk about this, I know that Anthony Seibold has been criticised for not selecting young Joey Walsh. He's been playing New South Wales Cup. I've got to say, I think that is really, really unfair. I think Anthony Seibold did young Joey a real favour. If you're a young 7 and he's still learning the game, I mean, he's come out of rugby union, he's a very, very talented young bloke, he's going to be a very, very good player for a long time. But to get a young kid who's still learning the game and you put him into a team that's struggling and whose forwards are getting beat week in, week out, mate, they're on a kick into nothing. He might.
What do you think Foz will pick him?
Hey?
Do you think Foz will pick him?
I think once the side starts to perform better, I think you'll start to see him get... I reckon Foz might give him 10, 15 minutes here and just start to bring him into the side.
Ches, is he a 7 or a 6?
I'm not too sure. I know one thing at the moment, having just that season with him last year, is Joey Walsh is as determined as ever to play a lot of first grade, and I've got no doubt he will, based on, his competitive nature, his work ethic, and he's got a real nice humbleness about him. He's willing to learn. He's willing to get the work done. So his time will come, as Matty said. And there's a lot of people at the club that will protect him to make sure that when the time's right, he gets a game. But yeah, there's no doubt that it's going to be a long career, but it's really important that you don't maybe hurt him early.